Crypto Space is back with another Monad update for you guys, and another update in the ecosystem trades that we're taking. Right, again, we're not investing like massive amounts into the ecosystem. The majority of your bag should be in Monad. That's how you trade the ecosystem, right? So for example, if you were around in Solana end of 2023 going into 2024, you have majority of your bag in Solana, and then you just toss a little couple $100, $500, less than $1,000 at like memes on Solana. So you could have potentially got Myro at $1 million market cap, and then you put in $200, and then that becomes 20 to 30 to 40k, right? Or with dog with hat, you bought that in the early stages at 20 mil market cap. You put in $300, and then boom, that $300 becomes, again, it does like it was at 20. Say you got in dog with hat at 20 mil, right? And it went to $5 billion market cap. My apologies. Holy crap, that was a move, right? So 5 billion market cap, right? You got in dog with hat at 20 mil market cap, right? Dang, what the heck? My math not math, and this is 5 billion divided by 20 mil, right? Okay, there you go. I pressed the wrong button. So there you go, 250x if you bought you bought dog with hat on Solana when Solana was going absolutely parabolic. You bought dog with hat, 20 mil market cap with $200. 200 times 250, boom, you make 50k. That is insane. That is a lot of money. That is insane. That kind of money could save your portfolio. You know why? Then you could reinvest 30k, keep 20k for yourself, reinvest 30k into a big cap project, or buy more mon with the 30k, right? Then you get your hands on $1 million mon and sell it at $1, right? There you go, right? So I'm trying to show you guys, having exposure to the Monad ecosystem just with a couple $100, man, because you never know which one of these memes that I talk about goes to $1 billion market cap or does something massive. They really can. Okay, you can't rule that out, because Monad is going to be extremely successful, and so will its ecosystem, right? So Monad just under 2183 cent, 22 cent, I should say, just under 22 cents. Having a bit of a little bit of a pullback. Obviously would have resistance at the ICO price, but once it breaks the ICO price, and it will, you're gonna see a massive expansion for Monad. 80.4 mil mark, 80.4 mil in volume, down 33%. Now is a good time to enter, right? Instead of buying at like 24 cent, 25 cent, you could buy at 2183, right? Just that little percentage difference could be very exponential in the future, right? You could tell people, hey, I bought Monad under 2 cent, right? 2-3 cent. I bought Monad under the ICO price, right? And that then you see the massive move to $1, if not $3 in Monad, right? So like I said, 100,000 Monad is a great investment. I know there's people with millions, 500k, 800k, but if you're again, majority of people do not make money in this space. So I'm trying to figure out a way for all of us to make gains together, right? So 100,000 Monad, you don't break your bank account, you don't have to worry about debt, or just 50,000 Monad, right? Is a great investment, right? So it's $2,185 or $1,000.92, right? Anywhere in that range for your Monad bag will be very awesome for the future, because at $1 you have 50k to 100k in Monad, right? And I'm telling you, that is massive for the space. If you have 50k in the space right now, and with altcoins down 90% or more, say you buy like Monad in a massive correction, say you buy another alt that gets a massive correction, that is down massively, and then next bull run comes around, and then boom, just like that, you make 6 figures, right? Almost $1 million, right? That's how you have to play. That's how you have to trade strategically in this space, right? So the transition, right, with Monad being successful, its ecosystem will also be successful. Taking a look back at Emonad here. Again, I mentioned Emonad at 300k market cap, and it's at 586k now. It didn't really have a massive move just yet. Obviously, they had people who got in at 100K market cap, but that doesn't matter to me, you know. Some exposure is better than no exposure. You're gonna be like, well, I'm late to Emonad because I didn't get in at 100K. What if it pulls a dog with hat? What if it goes to 5 billion market cap? You're gonna be like, well, the market conditions are different. The memes aren't gonna make moves like that anymore. Who's to say the Monad team doesn't take millions of dollars and push it into Emonad? What's gonna stop that from happening? In previous videos, I showed you guys that James, one of the founders, bought Emonad. Nad.fun, the launch pad for you know, Monad memes, bought Emonad, and they bought it recently, right? They did 2 buybacks on Emonad. Who's to say they don't pump millions of dollars into this to make this thing explode to hundreds of millions, if not $1 billion in market cap, so more and more people come to the network and get, you know, and try to get some gains, right? That way they onboard so much people, right? Memes are a great onboarding tool to the network, right? So Emonad right here is in an accumulation phase. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but eventually it's gonna break out of it. It could break out today, to be honest, right? It could break out today. And once it breaks out of this accumulation phase, we are off to the races, guys. So in my opinion, again, never invest more than you're willing to lose, guys. Don't be putting in 10K into a meme coin, especially at this lower market cap. Don't be putting 10 to 20K, 30K into a meme coin, man. Right now, Emonad is such a cheap place. It's in such a cheap spot. All you got to do is toss in, like, to get I think 1 million coins is more than enough. Obviously, there are people with 1% of the supply with 10 million coins, 2% of the supply with 20 million coins. But guess what? In order for the chart to be this strong and not break down and go to zero, they have to be diamond-handed holders for that to be the case, right? You know, most people aren't. So let the top holders do their thing, and, you know, everyone can make gains together, right? Eventually you'll become a top holder of these things as well too, as you build your portfolio, right? So right now, in my opinion, $587 is 1 million Emonad. $587. I know that's a little bit more steep, but I think it's going to be worth it personally, right? And I think, like I said, potential for Emonad, 10 million market cap. You got 1 million tokens. That's $10,000. 100 million market cap, $100,000. And what if it pulls a dog with hat, man? The Monad team tosses millions into Emonad. Huge FOMO happens. Millions of users bridge to Monad to buy Emonad. Then it goes to 1 billion market cap. Your 1 million tokens becomes $1 million, right? There's people that did it with Whiff, Popcat, Myro, Dog with Hat, Mog, Pepe, you know, Turbo. I know a lot of people like Turbo and Toshi, you know, and the list goes on, right? So just an update for, you know, the ecosystem and Monad. Once again, as always, I'm bullish on Emonad and all the projects that I talk about, right? I'm not overexposed. If they go to zero, it's not gonna kill my portfolio, right? I could sleep soundly. I'm not putting 10K into these memes, right? Just a little something to work my way back up, to work our way back up, right? You and you as my viewers, right? Because $10,000, guess what? You get 10 mil market cap. You take some profits at 10 mil. Let the moon bag ride, and then you know, you could rotate some of those profits into another project, right? I'm telling you, right? Or you could just hold all the way up and, you know, change your life in one trade. That too is also possible. So as always, thank y'all so much for tuning in. None of this is financial advice. Share the videos, like and subscribe, and thank y'all so much again, man. Catch y'all in the next one.